Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm excited to be here today to talk about a topic that many of us experience but might not always recognize: how dating can impact your mental health. Today's presentation is titled, Why Dating Destroys Your Mental Health, and we'll be exploring some eye-opening insights. We'll look at the emotional ups and downs, the common pitfalls, and what you can do to protect your well-being while navigating the dating world. So, let's get started and dive into understanding this complex but important subject. Let's talk about what's really happening beneath the surface of modern dating. We often see dating as this exciting journey, an adventure that leads to love, intimacy, and companionship. And while that's true on the surface, the reality is a lot more complex. The truth is, modern dating can also be one of the most psychologically damaging experiences we encounter. Instead of boosting our emotional health, it can sometimes chip away at our self-esteem, our sense of stability, and our overall peace of mind. And the reasons for this aren't just superficial or random. They're deeply rooted in our psychology, our cultural norms, and the emotional expectations we hold around relationships. These factors shape how we experience dating in ways that can be quite harmful. So, in this part of the presentation, I want to explore why modern dating, despite its promises, often ends up damaging our mental health. Understanding these underlying reasons is key to navigating dating more mindfully and protecting our emotional well-being. Let's talk about the tyranny of rejection and constant evaluation in our modern world. Nowadays, dating platforms and social norms have turned human connection into a kind of game. We swipe left or right, judge quickly, and often get judged just as fast. This rapid cycle of evaluation happens within seconds, which can be quite overwhelming. Every rejection, whether it's explicit like a match not happening or silent like an ignored message, chips away at our self-esteem. And over time, these micro-rejections send a subconscious message: you are not good enough. This repetitive cycle can build a sense of insecurity and self-doubt. What's even more concerning is how this affects us emotionally. Our minds aren't naturally wired to handle being constantly evaluated by hundreds of strangers. It can lead to social anxiety and a persistent fear of inadequacy. So, in essence, this constant appraisal erodes confidence and can leave us feeling chronically insecure, all of which ties back to our broader theme of understanding how modern social pressures impact our mental well-being. Let's talk about the illusion of infinite choice that dating apps create. They promise us endless options, which sounds great at first, but this abundance can actually backfire. When we believe there's always someone better just a swipe away, it changes how we approach relationships. Instead of seeing someone as a person to connect with, we start treating relationships as disposable, always waiting for something better. For the individual, this mindset can lead to feeling replaceable, thinking, why would anyone commit to me if they could find someone new tomorrow? It also causes decision fatigue, constantly second-guessing if we've made the best choice. Plus, when both sides know they can leave easily without consequences, conversations tend to stay superficial. Real, deep bonds become harder to form. Ironically, more options often lead to less satisfaction and even greater loneliness. Because when we keep searching for the perfect match, we might never feel truly fulfilled or connected. This ties into the overall theme today: how our pursuit of endless options can actually hinder genuine connection. So here we're talking about the performance trap in dating, which is like viewing dating as a stage. You know, people often don't show their true selves right away. Instead, they perform, wearing masks of confidence, charm, and desirability to make a good impression. But here's the thing: every performance comes with a cost. First, there's emotional exhaustion. Pretending to be more confident, more fun, or more attractive than you really feel takes a lot of mental energy. It's draining to keep up that act. Over time, this can really wear you down. Then there's the risk of identity confusion. When you're constantly performing, it's easy to forget who you are without the mask. You might start to lose touch with your authentic self. And there's also a fear of authenticity. If someone falls for the version of you you're showing, will they still like you once they see who you truly are? That fear can keep you stuck in this cycle of performance. All of this constant acting can lead to burnout, feelings of paranoia, and even make it hard to relax and be vulnerable in intimacy. It's a big part of why genuine connection can feel so elusive in dating. When we talk about attachment wounds resurfacing in modern dating, we're really diving into how dating touches the deepest parts of our psychology. When someone ghosts us, withdraws affection, or suddenly changes their behavior, it can trigger old wounds, feelings of abandonment, rejection, or neglect that we've carried with us. Instead of helping us build trust, these experiences often amplify certain attachment styles. For example, with anxious attachment, we might find ourselves desperately chasing reassurance, craving closeness but feeling insecure. On the other hand, avoidant attachment leads us to defensively withdraw from intimacy, creating distance even when we want connection. Then there's disorganized attachment, which is like a chaotic push-pull, love and fear intertwined, leaving us confused and emotionally overwhelmed. Unhealed attachment wounds make dating feel less like a journey toward love and more like an emotional war zone. Instead of a safe space to explore connection, it becomes a battleground of old fears and unresolved pain. Recognizing how these wounds play into our dating experiences is crucial for understanding ourselves and moving toward healthier relationships. Now, let's talk about how toxic comparison and social pressure impact dating today. In our hyperconnected age, dating is rarely just between two people. Instead, it's often compared against these idealized versions of relationships we see online. For example, the curated perfect relationships on Instagram can create unrealistic standards that are almost impossible to match. Then there's the endless stream of dating advice suggesting you're doing it wrong, which can make you doubt your own process. And of course, there's the pressure from peers who seem to be settling down while you're still searching. What all this does is turn what should be a personal journey into a kind of competitive race. It's easy to feel inadequate, left behind, or even broken when you're constantly measuring yourself against others' highlight reels. Ultimately, these pressures shift the focus away from genuine connection and self-discovery, making the whole experience more stressful and less authentic. This is a crucial part of understanding the challenges many face in modern dating. Now, let's explore how modern dating has become a kind of marketplace, turning love into a transaction. Often, conversations focus on what someone brings to the table, which can feel like evaluating a product rather than a person. People are filtered based on income, looks, status, or lifestyle, which strips intimacy of its true human essence. Vulnerability, which should be a sign of trust and openness, is often seen as a weakness. Affection gets measured in market value, making love conditional rather than free and genuine. The reality is, the soul cannot truly thrive in a marketplace of hearts where authenticity is replaced by evaluation. Moving on to the next point, this commodification leads to a deep sense of loss of hope and emotional resignation. Rejection, the constant need to perform, wounds from past experiences, and endless comparison can leave us feeling defeated. Many people silently start to believe that love isn't real or that others can't be trusted. Some even question their own worthiness of love. This despair isn't limited to dating. It seeps into our work, friendships, and daily lives. Over time, cynicism acts as a kind of armor, protecting us from pain, but also blocking joy and meaningful connection. It's a painful cycle, but understanding it is the first step to breaking free. So here's the paradox. If dating can sometimes be so destructive, why do we keep chasing it? Well, underneath all the games and superficiality, the human longing for connection is very real. We all want someone who can see us for who we truly are without judgment, someone who accepts our flaws, and with whom we can share life's journey. That deep need for connection is what keeps us coming back, even when the landscape is tough. But today's modern dating scene often throws up obstacles, things like ego, pride, superficiality, and fear, that get in the way of that genuine connection. That's why protecting your mental health in dating is so important. So how can we do that? First, one key strategy is to detach from outcomes. That means approaching dating with curiosity instead of desperation. Every interaction isn't a judgment on your worth, it's just data, a chance to learn more about yourself and what you want. Next, limit your exposure. Reduce the time you spend on dating apps and instead focus on quality over quantity. It's better to have meaningful conversations than to swipe endlessly. Another important point is to heal first. Work on your attachment wounds, boost your self-esteem, and find your inner peace before seeking validation through dating. When you're grounded, you're less likely to get caught up in chasing after someone to fill a void. Being radically authentic is also crucial. Show who you really are early on. This helps filter out those who aren't a good fit and saves you from wasting time on false connections. And finally, seek depth, not performance. Ask real questions, share vulnerabilities, and look for people who can sit with your darkness, not just your surface. When you're honest and open, you attract genuine connections, and that's what ultimately fulfills us. Remember, even in a brutal landscape, survival is possible. By staying true to ourselves and protecting our mental health, we can find the connection we're truly looking for. When we talk about dating, it's important to recognize its impact on our mental health. When dating becomes a stage for performance, rejection, and comparison, it can really take a toll on our well-being. It's like we're putting on masks and trying to impress others, which can lead to feelings of inadequacy and stress. But the good news is, dating can also be a space for healing. When we strip away those masks and let go of the marketplace mentality, where we see ourselves as commodities or prizes, it opens the door to genuine connection. Connecting soul to soul becomes possible when we approach dating differently. It's not about winning or losing, but about authentic engagement. The key is redefining what dating means. Instead of viewing it as a game driven by ego, we can see it as an opportunity for authenticity, compassion, and presence. If we focus on being true to ourselves and truly listening to others, dating transforms into a meaningful journey rather than a stressful competition. So the overall message here is that the real solution isn't avoiding dating altogether, but changing how we approach it. By shifting from a performance-based mindset to one rooted in genuine connection, we create space for growth, understanding, and healing.